Da da dee da da. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, man. On my ear. This. Okay, so far. All right. God hates dishonesty. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 to 19. All right. I'm going to read it from another version. Thing. Proverbs chapter 6. Chapter 6. Um, 16 to 19, yes, yes. There are 6 things that Yahweh hates. Yes, 7 things that he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart plotting wicked schemes, feet that run quickly to evil, a false witness who lies with every breath, and anyone sowing contention among brothers. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So powerful. Young, well, go on, big up yourself. Welcome. Yes. And our memory verse is found in Proverbs 23, verse 23. It says, by Edith says hi. Edith Young says hi. Big up yourself and welcome to the live stream. This is your boy, Jeremy LiveGood, and I'm streaming from Kingston, Jamaica. All right. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 23 says, but buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom and instruction and understanding. Wow. I just told you my name, Jeremy. Most people from the old school, well, except Mr. Beast, I'm calling him Mr. Beast. Most persons use the name. Jeremy is my name. If you go into the description, and look at my, you see my youth, my Facebook page. That's my name. Oh, where do I live? Kingston, Jamaica. I'm Jamaican. All right. All right. Motivational quote. Lies are heavy. Speak the truth always and be free. Brad Cole, big up yourself. Al Per, hello, greetings. Brad Cole says, what language do you speak? English. English. And a little patois. You will get the English and the patois coming at times. Jamaican patois. Prophetic word for today. You shall not become an enemy of God in the name of Yahshua. Yes, only those two, Jamaican patois and English, only those two. I can read a little Spanish because I've been studying that, but never get the opportunity to use it. So I can read it, but not speak it. Put on a song. Things are occupied right now. I have no theme song. Eventually, when I get there, I'll try to make a theme song, just like I see other people have theme song. All right. Message. God cannot and does not lie. Consequently, he expects his children to embrace Alper says something about I am, and okay, I can't make out the red something there. I see something like a flag. Look like a what, German? Remember the flag there now? Ed Young said hi. Okay. Arena continue reading. Says he expects his children to embrace the same virtue. Yeah, thank you. Turkey. Yashua is the truth, and he is the same, and he is the same with the Father, whose word is the truth. Okay. All right, I'll big up yourself, man, and give you a salute. Big up yourself. Eddie Young put up something there. I live. And okay, I think I'm trying to read between the lines what he's trying to say there. Anyway, let me see right here. So he, the same with the Father, truth. God himself is the Word. Therefore, God is truth. Lies, falsehood, deception, and every kind of dishonesty cannot be found in him or in his kingdom. Okay. Adam and Eve disobeyed Yahweh, and in the Garden of Eden and all also lied by shifting blames. Adam blamed the woman and the woman blamed the serpent. Try to hide your weaknesses or refusing to accept responsibility amounts to falsehood. Cain inherited this evil habit from his parents. He gave a stupid excuse to Yahweh, who knows it all. When Yahweh asks him about his brother, Cain says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" in Genesis chapter 4, verse 9. Wow. Achan stole the Babylon garment contrary to divine instruction and hide it. Israel suffered defeat, and Yahweh revealed to Joshua that there was sin in the camp. Unfortunately, Achan didn't suffer alone for his sin. His entire family was stoned to death. Joshua 7. This is one of the gruesome consequences of dishonesty. For Gehazi, he disobeyed his master Elisha and received Nahum's gift out of greed and covetousness. Greed and covetousness. When Elisha asked him about his whereabouts, he replied with a lie. Gehazi earned the transgressional curse of leprosy as a result. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 20 to 27. Okay, son of the king, I, my host, how are you doing? I am blessed and highly favored and doing quite well by the grace of God. You know, I don't really I try not to take certain things personal, because it doesn't really add up. All right, Rachel now. Rachel, the wife of Jacob, stole her father's idols, sat on it, and gave the excuse that she was on her monthly flow. Genesis 31, verse 33 to 34. She died and did not get a befitting burial. Wow. Rebecca too helped Jacob earlier to deceive his father in order to take Esau's blessing. These and more examples of liars from the scriptures. Yahweh is never happy with any form of dishonesty. Beloved ones, dishonesty is a sin. Scriptures point clearly to that. If Yahweh hates it, then you can't embrace it. Sin separates men from Yahweh or God. Desist from it. Remember that Yahweh is not interested in the death of sinners, but that they repent and come to the knowledge of the truth. Wow, so true. Yeah, man, this is true. All I can say is this, or add to it. Once you know the truth will set you free. And truth found in Yahweh's word sets us free, because when we try to live by the truth contained in God's word, you develop a different look towards life and people on a whole. You don't look at yourself as being superior or more important than they are. You try to help in ways you can. And you don't try to go overboard. I can't speak for all who calls on Yahweh. I can speak for myself when I'm on the road and I see someone and I am moved by the Spirit of God. I assist. But many times I see myself, like I went to Burger King or Island Grill, coming out of the restaurant, and I didn't feel peckish. Something just came over me and I said, I don't feel hungry. And I gave, more than one time I do it. I just come out of the restaurant, I just give somebody a burger and a drink. I'm not saying this to be looked upon as superior in any way, but saying when I move by the Spirit, I do things to help people. Even once I say I bought a bottle of water, just come out of the wholesale, and as I turn out of the wholesale, a old lady said, my son, you can help me with a bottle of water, please? And I couldn't tell her no, because the bottle don't even pull. I just hand it to her. She said, thank you, yeah. Thank you so much. God will bless you. I said, all right, mom. I'm going to walk off. Some type of names here. I don't know. Asma. Or I may call you Asma. Because when I flick up some letters and stuff, Asma, big up yourself. Welcome. Yeah, man. God doesn't desire any to be destroyed, but all to attain to knowledge of the truth contained in His word. You know, I read Proverbs in the earlier segment of my reading. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19. And it says 6 things he hates, but 7 things he detests. And I can read it over back for those who just came on. 6 things that Yahweh hates. Yes, 7 things that he detests. A haughty eye, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart plotting wicked schemes, and feet that run quickly to evil, a false witness who lies with every breath, and anyone sowing contention among brothers. Wow, so profound. So profound. And the scripture plus the motivational quote go hand in hand. Life are heavy. Speak truth always and be free. Wow. So this has brought me to the end of my devotional reading. Hopefully I can come out tomorrow and do part 2. Let's find a nice article, see what take place in my island of Jamaica, and this dream fulfilled. Right, I wonder what dream this now. Let me dream fulfilled. Janet Davis gives thanks after receiving the key to her new home from Prime Minister Andrew Holness. At the handover of Howard Apartments in St. Andrew, Wednesday, a recipient of one of the 248 units in the gated housing development. Miss Davis was one of the new homeowners who expressed gratitude to God, the National Housing Trust, and Holness for making home ownership possible. Okay, wow. So this is not a full article. Just a little snaps. Okay. Anyone would be happy. How many people upon this island, the island of Jamaica, want a place they call their own? Support for students, foreign ministry closely monitoring those who remain in Cuba. Okay. The government of Jamaica has pledged continued support for the roughly 270 Jamaican students still studying in the crisis hit Cuba, with Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kimana Johnson-Smith reaffirming the government's commitment to the students' welfare. Johnson-Smith told a post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House Wednesday that her ministry has been closely monitoring the students who remain in Cuba, 40 of whom are sponsored by Cuban scholarships, which are supported by the government of Jamaica. Further noting that one private student was formally advised of his return home. Meanwhile, she noted that more than 65 students, included 5 on government scholarship, have completed their medical studies for the 2025-2026 academic year. 3 others have indicated that they are in a process of continuing their studies elsewhere through academic transfer, and we have to go with these numbers because we understand anecdotal that others have returned, but they have not formally notified us, Johnson Smith said. And this is understandable. They are there privately and on their own stream. But just to say that we have the information and we also have a line of communication that allows for them to not only indicate their return, but to request assistance if they do need, said the minister. Johnson Smith noted that these students who remain are offered pathways to repatriation should they express a desire to return. This is because our concern remains for their safety, well-being, and academic continuity. We know that prolonged power cuts and reduced public transportation causes challenges for their way of life, and the government has communicated our preparedness to assist with one-way return tickets should they wish to return but have a difficulty with affordability, she said. Continue to engage the Ministry of Education and Minister of Finance and the Ministry of Health, as well as medical institutions on what, if anything, can be done for those who may wish to return and continue their studies here. She added, many of the Cuban medical students have seen classes suspended or moved online with limited connectivity as Cuba faces an ongoing energy crisis worsened by a United States blockade of fuel shipment. The island's fuel storage have been triggering frequent, lengthened, unpredictable electricity interruptions affected not only education but also access to food, medical supplies, and transportation. Back in February, Johnson Smith said some students had been reaching out and advised that their institution either close for a period, in one case for 4 weeks, and others said that classes had been suspended in, in favor of virtual studies, which saw challenges with internet and electricity. To maintain direct contact, Johnson Smith noted the ministry created a WhatsApp group at that time, linking roughly 320 students with officials in Kingston and the Jamaica Embassy in Havana, a move that allowed the government to register many privately funded students who were previously outside formal channels. In the meantime, Johnson Smith said Wednesday that the government has reaffirmed its commitment to Cuba by contributing US 100,000 through the Caribbean Community CARICOM as a humanitarian relief effort. She said Jamaica joined CARICOM heads of government in continuing to express deep concern over the worsening humanitarian situation in Cuba and reaffirms its commitment to a coordinated regional response to provide humanitarian assistance to the Cuban people. While speaking as long-standing friends of both the United States and Cuba, CARICOM underscored in our joint single statement that civilian needs must remain the high priority. We welcome recent rounds of discussion between the governments and continue to advocate for constructive dialogue as the most effective path to relieve hardship on the people of Cuba, said Johnson Smith. The minister added that many Cubans medical professionals who had left the island following an abrupt end to the long-standing health te- technical cooperation arrangement in March 2026 have since returned to Jamaica and are continuing work on the new arrangement with the Health and Wellness Ministry. Johnson Smith added that those who choose to remain are still being accommodated as they continue to work under individual contracts. We all continue to value the significant contribution that Cuba medical professionals have made to our health sector over the many years. And following the conclusion of the technical cooperation program, you would recall that a number of Cuban medical professionals chose to remain in Jamaica and continue to work under personal contract, she said. Others had who had left have since returned and again are working here under individual contracts. So we just want to confirm that under the new arrangement, the Ministry of Health and Wellness engage Cuban professionals on an individual basis in keeping. End of article. From Portland Cottage to Purpose. Okay. That is from Career and Education News. Latest news, fire destroyed commercial building in St. James, 35 million loss estimated. Okay. Commercial building destroyed by fire in Dorkits, Cambridge. St. James, Jamaica, a commercial building in Dorkits, Cambridge in St. James was destroyed by fire early Tuesday morning in a blaze of unknown origin. According to the Jamaica Fire Brigade, firefighters were alerted to the fire at approximately 4:25 a.m. Two units from the Montego Bay Fire Station responded to the emergency. When firefighters arrived, the building was fully engulfed. In flames. After nearly 3 hours of firefighting, they managed to extinguish the blaze. The building was reportedly home to a bar, restaurant, and mini mart on the ground floor, while the upper level contained several rooms. The estimated loss of 35 million. The building and its contents are believed to be uninsured. A team of investigators from the Jamaica Fire Brigade has been dispatched to the scene. End of article. Wow. Hear the thunder rumbling in the background. But I haven't been getting much rain. Hopefully, the grass them in a city Kingston can get some well needed water to ease back some of the drought conditions. Alright, let me see if we can find the next one. Jamaica 65 will be a milestone year, says Minister Olivia Grange. She's the culture minister. Culture under her portfolio, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, Sports. So she has four. She oversees four under one umbrella. Okay. Gender, culture, entertainment, and sports. Delivered remarks at a post-cabinet press briefing held at Jamaica House on Wednesday. The 65th anniversary celebration next year will mark final staging of Jamaica's flagship national celebration at the National Stadium in Kingston before the facility undergoes major development. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports Olivia Grange made the announcement during a post-cabinet press briefing held at Jamaica House on Wednesday. Next year, we'll have a milestone year, Jamaica 65. It will be the last year that our celebration will be held at the National Stadium. After that, we will prepare for our expansion and development, but I am just putting everyone on alert. Jamaica 65 will be a special year, she said. Turning to this year's celebration, Minister Grange said members of the public who are unable to secure tickets for the Grand Gala at the National Stadium will still be able to enjoy the event through a special watch party and Independent Village. She explained that the arrangement was made in response to an overwhelming demand for tickets. I am making a special appeal that if you are unable to be provided with tickets for the stadium, that you will accept the tickets we have available for Independence Village here. You can be a part of the watch party, she said. Greenside tickets for Grand Gala will be available at Independence Village beginning Saturday evening. The minister noted that this year's Grand Gala will commemorate the 10th anniversary of Kingston being designed a United Nations education, scientific, and culture organization from UNESCO. Creative City of Music through a special presentation. The program will also recognize the 50th anniversary of women serving in the Jamaica Defense Force, celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Jamaica Festival Song Competition, and honoring recorded artists Busy Signal and Wayne Wonder with the Jamaica Reggae Icon Award. She added that the event will conclude with its customary fireworks display alongside an expanded drone show featuring 1,000 drones, as well as a motorcycle display by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. In the lead up to the Grand Gala in the Independence Village, will host 6 exciting nights of activities at the National Stadium complex, included cultural entertainment, family attraction, and exhibition. The venue opens daily at 4 p.m., while tickets required only for the evening programs. Tickets for the evening activities in Independence Village will be available from July 29th at the Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center, she said. The minister said. End of article. Venezuela political camps protest ahead of sensational talk. Okay. Mhm. The time now is 2 minutes past 5 in Kingston, Jamaica. And you see a picture of protesters of Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Cortina. They part in a protest march against the government and calling for presidential election in Caracas on July 28th. Caracas, Venezuela. Various protests marched through Caracas on Tuesday, appealing to make their voice heard ahead of Venezuela political transition and talks launched later this week. Earlier this month, the interim government and a group of former opposition lawmakers announced a work plan backed by the United States for strengthening democracy. But the interim leader, Delcy Marguel, is litigating with a gun to her head. Leftists marching through the Capitol on Tuesday insisted supporters of Nobel Peace Prize meanwhile called for election to ensure a genuine political transition. Mm-hmm. Grealis has been governing under Washington's watchful eye since U.S. forces abducted President Nicolas Maduro in January. Exiled opposition leader Maduro has ruled outer audience at the talks due to start Saturday. Around 300 of her supporters on Tuesday demanded that election be held as soon as possible. If we want to transition, we have to go to the election, said Marado's party spokesperson Henry Alvarez. When they set the election date, that's when the transition begins, he added. Other protest attendees voiced about the upcoming talks to the chair by parliamentary chief, the interim leader's brother, and opposition. Okay. Yes. People want election to move on with their life in Venezuela so far. Yeah, man. We come together when the feeling is right. Yeah, pick up yourself, Jimmy Cliff. You may not be around, but your music, just like Bob Marley, music still lingers with us here. Picture man, come tell me, heaven is on the earth. It's not all that glitters gold. I got something that's never been told. Now you see the light. Stand up for your rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Oops. Matches. Number two. I just try to strike one to light my vampire runners. I try get rid of the vampire them known as mosquitoes. Yeah, but you have a little destroyer go and burn, get rid of the vampire them, than for them to be biting you up. Such small creatures, but them pack up a good punch. Because remember the things them bring: West Nile virus, yellow fever, chikungunya, Zika, mighty God of Daniel. It's one little flying thing when they mosquito. There's so much things it do. Mosquito, dangerous thing, man. Son of the King, I see you. I see you, brother. Yeah, man, that's true, man. You must remember, I know much people get their chikungunya and what it did to them. Turn some of them like them at one old man. Like some of them at turn old people. You know how much people that lose box. That when Zika or chikungunya they go around, you know how much people it clap. Some people feel some pain. Cook them up. How much days? Yes. Remember about that. It was not a fun time. Couldn't be a fun time. Enough people, it made them bedridden for a couple of days. Probably a 3 day or so. Some people left here. I take thing named tamarind leaf, a boil concoction to bath them skin when they that chikungunya something they go around. Yeah, man, that I don't know what these time yeah, certain things that go around. You have to try to build up your immune system to counteract certain things. Get your detox. You have two type of detox, one for get out waste or certain heavy metals out of the body, but people forgot about the one. You have a detox for worm too, a worm detox, because enough of these things are inside of us. I'm trying to get rid of these worms, man. Get them out. Get all these worms out of our body. These parasites. So at times, if you eat your papa, try to consume a couple of the seed them. You can help, eat the seed them often, but once in a while, just a few little papa seed can pack a good punch, to those parasites, those worms in the Get rid of them, man. What? Go to relevant persons to get the help. Deworming and thing away that are done in Jamaica. You know, when the kids them are off from school for the 2 months break before going back to school. You know, we normally get a detox of worms. Them have a concoction look name. I don't know if it's still up on the market, but it used to name Mojo Herb. That thing didn't taste good at all. And my mother used to give me it. I must look and make sure so I see there was parasite that come out of my body. I didn't want to see them. Hold me head and say, look at them. You see what's inside of you? Hold me head and look on them. My gosh. I wanted it different still. My mother was a different type of woman, you know. Different type of woman. Different type of woman. I don't know. I do everybody's mother different in some way. Yeah, all mothers are not the same. Son of the king, you laugh over me. Because I think one time when I saw a bridging of mine, his mother, I know some mothers more political, diplomatic, and some mothers are loud in the sense of they will broadcast what their children does. And she shouldn't have done that. Broadcasting what her son did. You know, that's talk inside the home with the child, not outside with the friends. They will laugh off him and mock him and so forth. I can't remember what he did, but you know, wasn't a good thing. Yes, parents should know how to do things. Don't do it in an arrogant way, but scan the thing before it come out, whether the word or the action, and see if it's the right move you're going to make. Because every action have a reaction. You have to scan it. Just like your drive. I have to make a decision. Should I drop in the pothole? Should I swerve away from the pothole? Yeah, man, something I have to look into. It's 17 minutes past 5 in Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, man, son of the king, I saw some, I don't know what to say about that. I saw some Mother's Day, man. We love every child, whether they're big or not, love their parents. I want to tell you, I don't think most parents think, especially for the first child, there's no manual. Some parents have to just learn off of some trial and error. But they should all learn. You know, next thing, I don't think so. That's my opinion still. That's my personal opinion. That's a shame of opinion. If you have a child, if you're a female, you have a child, and he or she is energetic, find ways to get that child to respond to you in a certain type of way. Because if that child develop a thing with some play, he or she would not know when there's a time and a place, everything, you know. And if you have other relatives who are engaging in playful activities with the child, he or she, that will help to contribute to that thing that you're trying to break from the child. And then when you look on it, the two boy childs are different from girls. So something to look into. Anyway, it's now 20 minutes past 5 in Kingston, Jamaica. All right, we'll leave it right here. So big up yourself, son of the king, and others who came on. Asma, yeah, I think I remember Asma. Young, pick up yourself, young. Alper. Oh, these are the individuals that came on so far. Come on, big up on yourself. And Brad Cool. Yes. Big up, big up. And thank you so much passing through. All right, I will leave it right here, so.